Hello, everybody. This is Sassy with Seasons with Sassy. We are going to be decorating some blocks today for Halloween. We're going to be painting these blocks here that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then these dice blocks that I also got from the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cover these blocks in a gray chalk paint. And I shook this up really good before I opened it because I don't want any of the stuff to settle at the bottom. So I'm just gonna open this up. Maybe it's kind of hard to open. And we're gonna cover them with this base. We're gonna start with a gray base. Okay, one thing that you can do is you can use a heat tool to dry these off really fast. I have an embossing heat tool, but you can also use a blow dryer. Just don't get too close, because you don't want it to like catch on fire or anything, but you can use a heat tool to dry these. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so I only did one coat of the gray on these blocks. On these pieces for the bottom, I did 2 coats on the front part just because it had writing on it and you could still see it a little bit, and that's the main part you don't want to see. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna color these blocks. I'm gonna do one of these black, one of these orange, and then I have an orange, a dark green, and a white that I'm gonna put these blocks. All right, and with editing magic, these are all painted within seconds, right? I wish it was seconds. However, that dryer really did make these dry so much faster. Plus, if you use chalk paint, that dries so much faster than the acrylic paint as well. I feel like you're a little bit limited in the color when it comes to the chalk paint. There's a lot more variety of color in the acrylic paints, but you can find some and it's okay. Like this guy right here, this is like a dark green. I would have rather had a lime green. He's going to be our Frankenstein. And you can see what I'm going to do here with these fun little googly eyes. I am going to take those off while we paint them. But the first one I'm going to do is these blocks right here. And I'm going to use this stencil that I got from the Dollar Tree. I bought a lot of these. They have a lot of different fonts, but I like the size of this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tape this on, and I'm going to use white for that. So I'm going to grab and then I'm going to paint those. Okay, so I changed my mind. I am going to use this multi-purpose spray adhesive. It can be temporary or permanent. Obviously, I'm going to use it for temporary. I'm just going to spray the back of the stencil so that I can get that to stay. Get the lid off. There we go. I'm just going to use this plate right here, and I'm going to spray just a little bit and then kind of wait until it gets tacky. Wait a little bit and let it dry a little bit. And then I'm going to use this dauber, and I'm going to use the white. Perfect. Okay, so you don't want it to be too wet when you put it on, and you're going to want to center it onto your block. And then that way it's going to help it not bleed. And I would just do a little, scrape it off, and then I would pat it on a plate because you don't want, and you see how I got some on the block there? Don't worry about it. You can paint over it with the black again. Not a big deal. There's our bee. I'm actually going to use a cloth this time to press it down. So it looks like we got some around our bee here. Again, this is just kind of a learning curve. I'm just going to press with this cloth and see how that does. Down pretty nice. Tap it because you don't want it to too much. You don't want it to bleed. Okay, so after using the spray adhesive, that was the first time I used the spray adhesive. That spray adhesive is kind of old now that I think about it. And it did tend to leave some residue behind. So I would suggest just keeping it or maybe trying a different adhesive that is not so old. So I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna cover up all the little spots where the adhesive kind of stuck to the block. There wasn't spots. This last one ended up fine, but now we've got our boo. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside for a minute and I'm going to work on our cute little Frankenstein pumpkin and ghost. So I'm going to set these little eyes aside for a second and I'm just going to start drawing his hair. And I want to do everything first before the eyes because, you know, I want those to go on last. I don't want any to get on the eyes. So I'm just going to go in. And again, I wish I would have been able to find it green in this, but it's okay. Our Frankenstein is feeling sick. And I'm just gonna do like zigzag hair. And while I draw this, I'm just going to kind of talk to you about just something that I heard the other day. I know we have our, we all have our favorite crafters that we follow on YouTube. And I'm not gonna say who this is, but I was listening to one of my favorite crafters. They were talking about how they were doing a live craft and they were talking about how they didn't like the many like dollar store crafts that people are doing, or they didn't like the dollar store hauls. And at first I was thinking, oh, that kind of hurts my feelings. But then I thought about it in a different way. I just thought maybe this person, they just don't know that a lot of the reasons why people do dollar store crafts is because this is just what they can financially afford. And, you know, I will do a lot of dollar store crafts, and I buy a lot of stuff at the dollar store. Usually I find like the base of my project at the dollar store if I can. But if I can't, then I'll go somewhere else. I will definitely not buy anything from anywhere else unless it's on sale. And for me, you know, at least needs to be 40% off. But man, if I can get it for 50 or 60, that's amazing. And you know, even then it won't be $1. The things that I buy usually are not $1. They'll be a little bit more than that. For example, with this project, I used, you know, the dollar store dice and I used the bases. They were $1. But my paint, I don't compromise on my paint. I use good paint because for me, if your project is not going to look good at all if you're using the dollar stores. Sorry, Dollar Tree, but it's true. So you just have to you kind of have to decide for yourself what kind of things you can afford and what kind of things you want to spend more money on. But I just thought to myself, she probably doesn't know that, you know, people get excited as far as the dollar store hauls. They get excited because they are getting a good deal and they want to share it with people. That's why I did a couple dollar store hauls, and you just get excited. You're like, look at what this amazing thing is that I got for only $1. And you want to share it with people so that they can go out and they can get the same deal. And maybe she just doesn't share that joy, and that's okay. Maybe she just enjoys, you know, shopping at others. She doesn't same excitement that like I would, or somebody else who likes stuff from the dollar. It's just for me, I feel very blessed now because when I was growing up, it was hard. I really had a hard time. And I don't know why. So anyway, like I say, she probably just doesn't understand that people get excited when they get good deals because they can actually craft. They can afford to craft. And if you can afford to get, you know, stuff for more than $1, that's great. For me, I'm kind of a mixture of both. You know, like I say, there's some things I can get for $1, and I'm going to. I mean, man, if I can get it for $1, I'm going to get it for $1. But if, you know, there's certain things that the dollar store doesn't have, which is a lot of things, and I can get them on sale somewhere else, then I will, and I'll pay more than $1 for that. So yeah, just my 2 cents on that topic. Yeah, so let me know what you think. I don't think she was trying to be rude in any way. I just think she just might not understand. She might just understand where. You'll have to let me know. What do you think? Shopping at the dollar, you know, or both? Hobby Lobby and Java might lots now, and a lot of people are just going online. Know that you can shop at Dollar. You can do site to store and then the shipping. I would not recommend shipping to your house because the shipping is crazy. It's like $40 or something like that. Unless what you can do is you can go in on ship, put in a bulk order, find a friend that will split. I can't talk the shipping cost. How's that Frankie looking? Super cute. All right, he needs a nose. All right, we're gonna let him dry. Move on to our pumpkin. Be careful when you're, see all this paint? But I mean, hands aren't dirty. Are you really crafty? And if you guys don't have a steady hand, that's okay. You can get stickers. I don't really have that much of a steady hand, but I try and pretend like I've got an okay hand. I don't ever want you guys to feel like, oh, I'm gonna make a mistake. I can't do it because, you know, what if I make a mistake? There's always ways to fix the mistake. Sometimes you can even make the mistake better. So I don't want you to feel like you can't start a craft without. He's pretty cute. All right, let's do this cute little ghost. Those are drying. Nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna go, they're not all the way dry yet, but that's fine. As long as you're super careful, you can put these little eyes on. We're not even done yet, but I'm gonna show you. So at the Dollar Tree, of course, they've got these and they're double-sided. Go. So cute. All right, do the little ghost's eye. How cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a stemmer. All right, so my block around. All right, we're done with those blocks. We're gonna move on to the bigger blocks that go underneath. Okay, so for this project, this block is actually gonna be on top and these blocks are gonna be on bottom. So what I did is I measured this, and I just did pencil markings about an inch in from my left and then an inch in from my right. And then I also marked the middle. So I'm gonna go in with these stencils and I'm going to paint in what's up, and then the bottom is gonna say boo. What's up, boo? So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I measured it out where I wanted the words to be. And then what I did on this is I actually just traced with a pencil all of the letters. So I just traced it out on here. So I just laid this down and I traced it. And then that way I know where I want the paint to go on top. I'm gonna erase it a little bit so it's a little bit more transparent, but I at least know where I want it to go exactly. Okay, so I went ahead and stenciled that. This is what it looks like. And I connected the letters together. So, and I like how when I stipple it, it kind of makes it look a little bit more grungy. So I'm not done with this yet, but I'm pretty close. What comes next is really easy. Let me just show you what I'm going to do. Okay, we've got this ribbon that we're going to hot glue around this. And I'm gonna do it as close as I can to the front, and I'm actually just gonna put it right on the block, and then I'm going to add the ribbon. I'm gonna lay it, and I'm not worried about this excess because I'm gonna tuck it up underneath the back side and glue it. I'll show you when we're done with that. Okay, so I glued all along the front part, so it looks like this. And then what I did is I glued in the middle on all the sides first, and then I started gluing around the edge. This. And I just used the end of a glue stick, rub that on so that I don't get burnt. Okay, now we're gonna make a bow for the top. For my bow, I'm gonna do the bottom, the tails first, and I just want it to be a little bit longer than the length of this box. So I'm gonna cut that tail off first, and then pinch together, and then pinch them together again. And then I'm just going to cut a triangle, and that will leave those ends nice. So that's the bottom part of the bow, and I know a lot of people do bows differently. I'm just gonna do it, I think, the size of my hand, and so I'm just gonna wrap it, so I'm just going to wrap it maybe a little bit, just around until I have a decent sized bow. And then what I like to do is I like zip ties. This is kind of a thicker bow. So I like zip ties because they just hold things together nicely. Actually, I forgot. I need to leave a piece to go around. All right, zip tie. It's about the time where I use mouth to pull that together. Okay, so there's that. And then this is where I just kind of pull out some of those loops. And it doesn't matter that you can see the zip tie right now. Like I say, everybody does bows differently. Do it fast. It's a different kind of bow. I like how this looks with the black and white stripes. So I just kind of keep pulling like in a circle motion. This happens, you guys. I totally forgot to put the tail in before. That's okay. Grab another zip tie, and that's okay too, because look what I'm gonna do. Cut that right off. Don't panic when things like that happen. They do happen all the time. All right, I am gonna go get a zip tie. Okay, now I'm gonna add this tail. Okay. And then I'm gonna take that extra piece that I took off, and I'm just gonna hot glue it. I like all of that ribbon. Got that little tape at the end there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but I'm just gonna go in like this and go around the back. These zip ties hold things together awesome. Okay, now hot glue on, and again, I'm just gonna use burn myself, or a fingernail works too. Yeah, not no. Okay, now that that back part is on, we're going to start fluffing this again. And now it looks kind of a little uneven, but that's been messing with the middle part of the bow. That's okay. Fluff, fluff, fluff. That's all we need to do. And I love that this ribbon has the wire edges. Oh, and I was gonna say, I did not get this at the Dollar Tree. I'm sure some of you were thinking there's no way she got that at the Dollar Tree. I did not. I got it at Hobby Lobby when it was 60% off. It ended up being like $1.50 or something like that is for this kind of ribbon. But like I say, I get deals. I only buy when they have deals. Oh my gosh, I love this bow. But I love that it's got the wire because it's really fluff. Okay, I'm gonna hot glue this to the top, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, just so you guys know how I did this kind of like twisty, like kind of looks like a pinwheel type bow. All I did is I completely took the loop out and I moved it over the top. And then when you get to the very end, you just tuck in that last piece. So it kind of looks like a little pinwheel. I'm gonna glue that to the middle here. And of course, you're gonna need quite a bit of hot glue. You really want it to stay. I love hot glue. I do. Okay, now you would think that we would maybe be done, but we're not done. We've only done the top part. We still need to get the boo done. And you're gonna love the idea that I have for that. Okay, for the next part of this project, here's our boo. What's up, boo? What I'm going to do first is I am going to take these outside. These beads are actually going to go in between these letters and on the ends. So these bigger ones are going to go in the middle, and then these ones are going to go on the end. And what I'm going to do, I'll just show you, I'm going to poke a hole in the middle of this block. And then I'm gonna kind of make way for, I'm actually using pumpkin carving tools. Isn't that funny? Anyways, and then I'm gonna take this and I'm just going to rotate. How I'm doing that out. And if you guessed, I'm going to string some jute in between these blocks, and I'm gonna put these, after I spray paint them black, in between and on the ends, and then I'm going to be making cute little tassels on the end. It's going to be super cute. The easiest way I think to spray paint these is just to put them on some of this felt wire. I don't know what it's called right now. I want to call it a bottle brush. Anyways, I'm going to string these on and I'm going to go spray paint them. Does anybody else have a hard time talking? I feel like especially when I'm recording, I have a hard time talking. I apologize. I will be back after these are spray painted. All right, are you guys excited? I'm pretty excited. This is looking pretty darn cute. Okay, so I know you're probably wondering, like, how do I get the twine through there? You can use one of those bigger needles if you have one. I could not find mine. So what I did is I just tied, okay, so I tied the end of this twine to the little pumpkin sawing tool, and you know, I made sure to really get a good hole in there. And yeah, it looks kind of poopy there now, but it's fine because it's just going to be in the middle and the bead is going to cover it up. So then I just shove it through, and it doesn't go through all the way yet, but when you pull it out, you could just keep pushing it through like this. See? And it pokes out. And you just grab it, pull it through. So then you string the last of your beads on, and I made sure that I cut the jute. I keep calling it twine, it's jute. I made sure to cut it plenty long so that I would have enough space for the end of these to have the little tassels on them. So I'm just going to string these beads on. And if the ends start to fray up, cut them off. It's easier to get those. You know, sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. And that's just going to be the way it is for this video. Just going to kind of shove it through this one block. Nope. It's not having it, of course. Not just the way, you guys. There we go. All right, look how cute. Oh my gosh, so excited. Okay, so you can super glue or you can tie a knot. I'm just gonna tie a knot and set it together. And one knot should do it if you want. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so now we're gonna make the cute little tassels, and it's the same kind of step that I used for the bow. Let's see, how much do I want to wrap around? We'll try 20. Okay, that's 20 times around. Cut the end here, and then we're gonna pull this. We're gonna put this through, gather all those things together. Tie it, stay all together, and I'm gonna tie it 3 times. Okay, and then I'm gonna tie another one around the base before I cut the bottom. Okay, so now I am gonna take all these cute little loops that I just made. I'm gonna cut it. Those ones are way too little for this. All right, there's tassel 1. And I'm just gonna show you how you can put this on. I think I'm just going to put it through here. Okay, so see how that's just through the top part? I am actually just gonna cut this top part off. And I'm just gonna tie this. So. All right, and I did that 3 times to make sure that that stays on there. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how. All right, so I'm gonna do the same with the other side, and then I'm gonna show you guys the end result. Okay, is that not freaking adorable? Oh my gosh. What up, boo? All right, that was so fun to make, and it's so cute. I will show you a picture of this on my fireplace as soon as I get a picture of it. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so cute. I'm so excited. All right, you guys, I didn't forget about our cute little friends, and look at what I had. I mean, I'm such a nerd. Get it? You get it? I know. All right, so I measured this. I put a little mark with a pencil in the middle of what I want to do. So I'm writing spooky on this one. So I know that I want the 2 O's on both sides of where this mark is. Sorry, you guys, I have a lot of alarms because it's after school time, so my kids are coming home. You know how it is. Well, some of you might know how it is. That's my life. All right. So I know I want both O's on either side of the little pencil mark that I put there. And you know you want it in the middle. And I might do this actually a little bit lighter. I kind of like how it looks. Ooh, yeah, that looks fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the other O. Ooh, that's looking spooky already. Awesome. Okay, so I want these to dry before I put on my other stencils because I don't want them to smear while I'm moving this around. So I'm gonna do that right now. And really, that's all that it takes. I love having that little air dryer. All right, friends. Look at how cute. And I love that this says spooky on the bottom and it looks really neat. Like I said, I love that stippling on the stencil. It just gives it kind of a more rustic look. And I actually think, don't you love it when you get these last minute ideas? I think I'm going to put a little stem on this guy using the same technique that we used on the boo block. I'm going to put a little hole and then guess what I'm going to use for the stem? a bunch of these. Maybe not a bunch. Let's see. 3, 5. I'll just use 5. We'll see if even that many will fit. And I am just gonna shove this, and we may trim it up a little bit. So I'm just using the end of them, shoving it right on down there. Look how cute. I love these ideas that just pop into your head last. Okay, last one. I think that'll be good. All right, guys, end result. Just gonna cut off a few of these, just a little, not a lot. Look at how fun that looks. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed these tutorials that I did today. If you would like and subscribe, that would be great. And I've got another DIY coming tomorrow. This was day 2 of my 5 DIY days of Halloween, and day 3 will be tomorrow. So like and subscribe so you can get the tutorial for tomorrow.